Now, we're going to start off this segment talking about portion size. We're going to do this quickly because people should know what they should be eating, but as we've seen over the years, portion sizes have just blown right up, and so have we.
Right. Well, you've always heard your eyes are bigger than your stomach. That sort of refers to you've gotten too much food on your plate. But the reality is your eyes determine the size of your stomach. And what I mean by that is if a big portion of food is put in front of you, you'll tend to eat a lot more food.
Right.
If a smaller portion is put in front of you, that's what you'll eat and feel satisfied. And over the years, basically food companies and, especially the fast food companies have gradually increased portion sizes to attract people to eat their food because
they think they're getting good value.
Yeah, it gives you that sense of value, but the problem is that as time goes on, our eyes adjust to what's normal, and normal is now a lot more food than we need.
Okay, so let's recap for everybody. When it comes to proteins, starches, oils, and that sort of thing, what's our guidelines? Well,
essentially a normal portion of meat, for instance, you think of it as a steak about that big. In actual fact, it's about the size of the palm of your hand.
Okay.
That would be a normal size for most people. That would be a portion of meat. Portion of grain, similarly, you could probably fit it into your palm of your hand. Whereas, pasta usually comes out of this great big mound.
That's right.
And, for instance, if you're going to have, say, butter with your meal, probably should be the size of your thumbnail. A fatty food like cheese may be the size of your thumb.
Okay.
So those are normal portion sizes. Calories go a long ways. That's one of the things that people really don't have a grasp of is calories go a long ways. My wife and I just came back from cycling 800 kilometers through the Pyrenees Mountains of Spain. We realized that you can actually go for about 2 hours on one Cliff Bar. And you're climbing, thousands of feet an hour. It's amazing how much food will take you.
But the North American diet tends to be very calorie dense, so you don't have that feeling of fullness, but really you've taken in the fat calories.
Yeah, to feel full with the food that typically is on our plate, you end up eating twice as many calories as you need. So a big focus of our program is teaching people strategies to feel full without eating too many calories.
Fiber is a big one.
Fiber is huge. So foods that contain fiber like vegetables and fruits, whole grains, adding fiber supplements, things that fill your stomach but don't fill you with calories is key. If you start a meal, for instance, with a large salad and a small amount of dressing, by the time you get through the salad, you then turn to the smaller portion of, say, your meat and potato. You can tend to eat in a more controlled fashion, slower, more mindfully, and eat a smaller portion and still feel full.
All fibers aren't created equally. There's soluble and insoluble fiber. Can you tell us the difference?
Right. Fiber basically means carbohydrate you can't digest. So, for instance, wood is cellulose, so is wheat bran. It doesn't really create a feeling of fullness like, say, bran coming from oats, which is very soluble. It absorbs a lot of water. It expands in the stomach. It creates a gel that makes things move slower through your digestive system. So really, soluble fiber is the big thing that we're missing in our diets in North America more than anything else.
And give us a few common examples of that. How can we add more into our diet?
Well, an apple is perfect food in terms of a snack food because it contains volume, contains enough sweetness that it sort of satisfies that sweet tooth, but actually very little sugar. And the sugar that it does have is slowly absorbed because there's a lot of pectin, which is a soluble fiber in the apple. In order to get the same amount of calories from apples as you would from a regular fries, burger, and a regular drink, you'd have to eat 20 apples. Think of how much volume that would have in your stomach. You couldn't do it.
You couldn't do it.
You could wolf down that burger, fries, and drink in 15 seconds.
And 2 hours later, be hungry again.
Exactly.
Okay. When we come back, there has been a new scientific discovery when it comes to sweeteners and sweetness. We're going to tell you all about it and how it can get you on the road to hunger-free forever. Stay tuned.